Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, Higher and Beyond. This is the place for us to learn with each other about personal development, personal growth, and self improvement. And I have my guest speaker here with me, Usha Sarda. She is the founder of Empower Yourself, trainer, author, and coach. She has more than 5 years of experience in training and 10 plus in teaching. She has conducted multiple trainings across UAE and India, and she is also published author of multiple books. Wow. And Usha also has the major training areas include sales and persuasion, communication, growth mindset, team building, NLP, and many more. Wow, that's amazing. And also, USA conducted more than 100 workshops so far. Also, she is teaching in a unique way through movies. Wow, this is so interesting about the movies. But before that, welcome Usha. Thank you very much for being here in my show.
Thank you so much, Vimi. Thank you for inviting me over here. Yeah, I'm really glad and happy to be over here. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. I know and I believe it that you have so much value that you can share to the world, and I really want to learn from you. And it's interesting about the persuasive communication movies, and also you launch many books on Amazon already, especially the book that you was just published, the Lost and Found, about how to regain your confidence. But before that, I would like to know, as a trainer, you've been, conducting many training in the UAE about persuasive communication. I mean, what does that mean in daily life about the persuasive communication, etc., and etc.?
Yes. So the trainings that we conduct, persuasive communication, are mainly two categories. One is when I collaborate with someone who is already doing sales training. So he's talking about the sales, and I talk about persuasive communication, how to talk about your business. So that end of the day, your business grows, you make more sales. So one I use it over there, and one I use it as for everybody, anybody who is working or coaches or anybody who is interested in learning persuasion. Because every day we are persuading or influencing people around us. Even if you are a parent, you have to influence your kids, your spouse. So yes, so I take it in two forms. One is in the sales training, and one is the other open training.
Oh, wow. Indeed, like in daily life as a parent, especially in daily life, we kind of using these persuasive or influencing our close people, or even though people who we meet, anyone, right? Okay. And about the movies, I'm curious about the movies. What does that mean by using some kind of example movies? I heard you also using the Hollywood movie to actually connect um, into many people, and how to give them example, and etc., etc. What does that mean? Would you like to share to us about it?
Definitely, definitely. This question is something I'm always asked with everybody and wherever I go. So
Yeah.
before I answer your question, let me ask you a question. If I ask you to go back in your childhood, what do you remember? Do you remember some advertisement, some video advertisement, or some movie dialogues, or you remember your school boring lessons on the textbook? What do you remember more?
I think it's a good question. I mean, it's a wow. Honestly, I used to remember the kind of funny or sad memory, and I don't know how to say that. Uh, that's what I remember.
So generally people have, our brain has visual memory, so whatever we see and hear we remember more than what we read. That's the idea of starting with the movies. So why we use movies as part of our training? First I like to answer that, because if you show the movie and relate it with the communication skill or with leadership skill and teach, so they can relate it well, they will remember it well. And when you're watching someone else's problem, you can easily give the solution, but you cannot give solution to your own problem. So the memory part, I mean, you're using all your senses when you're watching the movies. The eyes, the ears, and the feelings also emerge. And then the relatability, you find the solutions for them and then you relate it with your own solutions. So this is the logic behind teaching with movies. And if something I have to teach, if a normal concept I have to teach, it might take 1 hour, but with movies I can teach it in 20 minutes. It is so comprehensive and so easy to understand as an audience, and more relatable. That's the reason I teach through movies. So what we do in movies, we pick up a skill, for example leadership skill, and we attach it with a movie. So with kids we do this a lot. With kids I only teach them through movies all the life skills. So we will pick up the movie Lion King and attach it with confidence. We'll pick up the movie Weekend Heroes and attach it with leadership skills. So we'll be teaching the life skills only, but by giving examples of movies. Like we can ask them, what did Simba do, what was his mistake, how can he could have corrected it. So the engagement is more, the connection is more, the learning is more.
So, I mean, interesting about the part of giving the example by using the movies, Simba helping on the confidence and the leadership, etc., 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 etc. I mean, um, I think this is, I must say, this is some kind of powerful technique to share to people, not only for the kids, about the meaning and what is the reason behind of this movie and how can we apply it in the daily life as a person if you want to grow.
Yes,
Oh
absolutely right.
wow. Yeah. Where did you find this idea actually to use this technique to share to people in training?
So I was always a Bollywood, fan. So I don't say I watch all movies. I have my certain set of movies which are my favorite. Mainly the movie that teaches us, or mainly the motivational movies is what I like. And when I started my training, I always used to add one or the other example from a movie. Then somewhere someone told me, a mentor told me that you already are using Bollywood examples and teaching it. So why don't you teach with movies only, completely with the movies, a skill. That's what he told me. But I was using it since last 2 years, taking up a movie and linking it with it. And also a friend gave me this idea. Let's teach kids with movies. So somewhere it started from a friend, my own thing, and a mentor telling me. So that's what I do. I do it for adults also. In fact, communication skills also, I will have one or two example of movies in that also. Whatever I will teach will have one, two, three examples of movies.
Wow. I mean, the this is part of the communication skills to help people to improve their communication skills. And um, what made me curious is about the technique that you use. You're also an NLP practitioner. You've used the technique of using the CBT technique also, and many many technique that you use, and also you helping the clients to improve their confidence and many things in their life. Um, how does that actually communication important in the life in our life especially?
Yeah, communication is very, very important. if you so there are two things. One is you have to communicate what you want exactly, because they cannot read your mind. It is as simple as that. What you want, you need to say, be it in your family or be it in your business. I always say in my sales training, always end your topic with the ask what you want to ask them for a connection or for a referral or to buy whatever. Same way, like in a family also, if I'm expecting certain things from my child, I need to say her clearly, because she cannot read my mind. So what happens is we generally go with assumptions more than the communication. So that is one thing. Communication is, that's why, very important. And the second part that I wanted to say is, when I'm saying I have to communicate very well, second part is I also have to understand the communication what other is giving. I mean, what communication I'm listening from the person in front of me. Now, why that is important? Because again, the other person will also not communicate very well. So I need to take the communication from his voice, from his body language, from something that is unsaid also, by asking question. So I think when it comes to communication, it's about listening as well as telling.
Hmm. Listening as well as
Telling,
telling. Yeah.
expressing. Yeah.
Right. And talking about confidence, as you are also helping so many clients how to improve their confidence, beside of using the movies, do you have any some kind of effective strategies for building and maintaining the confidence, particularly for individuals who struggle, who has the um, self doubt? I would say, yeah.
Yes, yes. So there are many people who do not know that self doubt is stopping them, first of all. So the first thing is to be self aware that my self doubt is stopping me, nothing else. That is the first point. If you are aware of that, then it becomes easy. So my first work would be this, we do specifically in the coaching part when we are doing one to one. We understand what is the reason behind your challenges, or you're stuck somewhere. So first we are aware of our self doubt. After that, what the best way to work on your self doubt is to understand what is your self talk, and then shift that self talk, or to identify what is the root cause and to work on that root cause, because many a times we have a root cause, and because of that root cause we're carrying it subconsciously and we still doubt ourselves. I would like to give you one example. I was coaching a client. She had a problem of speaking in the public. She used to shiver, her hands used to perspire. So in just one session we identified what is her root cause of she's not able to speak properly. And as we identified the root cause and we worked on it by rewiring using NLP techniques or by questioning, now she's able to speak in front of 30 people, 40 people, because she is an entrepreneur. She has to speak in 50 amount front of 50 people telling about her business. So now she doesn't shiver, or she doesn't have any self doubt when it comes to talking. So, identifying the root cause and working on it is one way, and it worked for her just in one session of 1.5 hours. It really worked for her. So, I think identifying the root cause is very, very important, which as coaches we have to understand, because it is coming from somewhere in the past.
So I think this is one of the powerful strategy that effective to improve the confidence, especially for individuals who struggle with the self doubt. Self doubt is identifying the root cause
Absolutely.
with that person. Okay. Hmm.
So, yes,
And
identifying the root cause, and one more thing, uh, identify the self talk. Self talk is at a
yeah.
higher level, root cause it at a deeper level. Even if you identify, many people have the self talk, I cannot do it, I cannot achieve it, or I am not smart. So, maybe changing this self talk, or also helps. And in the end, you have to go deeper to the root cause, of course.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So the self-talk identification and the root cause in this case. Okay. And What role does actually the self-talk play in confidence development, and how can we change negative self-talk, for example, into positive talk? Because this is, we have to know, we have to identify what is actually your self-talk to gain our confidence.
Right, right. So if you ask me what role does self-talk play in your self-confidence, I'll just say that self-talk is like a input to your processor brain. So whatever you give it, whatever goes inside the processor will come out. So if your self-talk is negative, your outcome will be negative. If your self-talk is positive, your outcome will be positive. So that is the role of self-talk. Be it anything, be it your confidence or be it changing your eating habits, be it in your relationship, everywhere this self-talk is there, because self-talk is something which you are constantly feeding to your brain. You're programming in your brain, and your brain works on that programming and gives you the result depending on the self-talk. So this is how important the self-talk is. Now, the second question that you asked me is how can we reprogram our self-talk? So, if I have to say this, then probably it is that first thing is be aware of your self-talk. Second is self-talk is just a thought. Don't take it as a reality or your fact. Question the self-talk. For example, if my self-talk is I cannot do this or I'm too old, maybe question your self-talk. Is there any place where you have actually done it? Do you have any evidence against this? If you question your self talk, it will lose its base. So start doubting your self talk. So that way, your self talk will go. Start questioning it, it will lose its ground. That's what you can do. And then replacing it with a more powerful self talk. This is a continuous process that you need to do on ongoing basis.
Okay, so Usha, that's so interesting about it. And what about the? Do you have any practical exercise or some kind of activities to recommend someone out there, who's looking to improve their confidence in professional setting? Because you are, as a trainer, you're helping many business owner and entrepreneurs, etc., etc.
Yes. So there are many techniques to improve your self confidence. One is to work on your self talk. Another is, make it. Fake it till you make it. One is, just work on your body language. Get into that zone. You will automatically feel confident. This is the body language of confidence. This is not the body language. This shoulder straight and straight. You will automatically feel confident. In this situation, you will not feel stressed or you will not feel low in confidence. So, working on the body language. There are many techniques to regain your confidence I've mentioned in this book, because confidence is just not one thing. It is also about the clarity of your thoughts. It is also about knowing what you want in your life. Are you living your life to your purpose or of your values? All these things also play a big role in your confidence. So this book actually helps us to in many things to regain your confidence. In fact, it also helps how to shift your negative thoughts to positive thoughts, how to work on your emotions, how to stay true to your values. All these things also is written in this book.
Oh yeah, interesting about the book that you've just written, about that. The title is Lost and Found. This book is talking about how to regain your confidence. So there is a lot of techniques how you want to regain the confidence. So for all of you, everyone who want to read that book from Usha Sarda, they are actually on the Amazon already. That okay? I'll put the link into the description after that. That's beautiful. So yeah, I mean, would you like to share about? I'm curious about it. You have published this book. The title of the book is Lost and Found, about to regain the confidence. Where did you get the idea to actually, and what is the motive that
Yeah,
you are actually publishing this book? What
yeah, okay,
message that you want to share to the world from this book?
okay. So the title itself says that lost and found. So many people are generally lost in their life, lost as in they don't know what they want to do or what is their future, how they want their life to be. So for someone who is feeling lost or is not aware what their life they want, this book can help them. And from where I got this inspiration? So I got inspiration from my own life before I deep dived into coaching. That was before 5 to 6 years, a few years before COVID. I was actually myself, you can say, lost or probably not happy because I didn't find my purpose or probably I didn't know what I wanted to do. And this thing was always there inside my mind and it was showing in my behavior. I was not behaving well, and I thought that if I do not do inner work inside, probably I might get into some mental health issues, not now but 3 4 years down the line. I just saw the changes in the behavior, not being happy. I found this pattern. So I thought, let me do some inner work. That's when I decided to do a life coaching course for myself, not to become a life coach, but for myself. And in this journey, I just realized that the outside behavior has a pattern inside. If you want to change your outside behavior, change the inner pattern, and automatically the outside behavior changes. So I applied this on myself. I became more confident, more happy. So I ended up doing more courses like cognitive behavior therapy, NLP practitioner, NLP master practitioner, and I could see more change within me. And I also started applying this with my friends and my family. I could see change in within them. So that's when I decided, let me get into life coaching. So in this book, I have written all the techniques that has helped me as well as my clients in bringing a change in their life. That's what I have done in this book. So the inspiration is my life, how I've started, and the life of my clients. So
Hmm.
also one more thing, you'll see a lot of stories in this book. There are many stories, many real life examples of the concepts that I have explained.
Wow, that's amazing. It sounds like, something that, yeah, take it, read it. Because also it's not only the technique how to become a confidence in life, but also there is how to manage like the emotional and stress management in this in that case. Wow. So interesting about the emotional and stress management, right? How does that relate it with the confidence, and how does that understanding and managing our emotional triggers improve our overall stress level?
Yeah, so if we are not aware of our emotions, we behave in an abruptive way, then that affects our confidence. Even our communication is not appropriate if our emotion management is not there. So I think emotion management is crucial to everything. We as a child, many of us do not learn to process our emotions, and that we are still carrying that emotions because as a child many times we are told not to cry, not to laugh, not to do this. Not all everybody, but few of us. So processing the emotions in your mind and working it out in a better way is always better, because every day we will go through a lot of emotions. There are many things happening in our life, even social media, even that evokes so many emotions within us. So understanding what is your emotion and processing it in a appropriate way so that we are more grounded and more mature and more happy. I'll give you one example. Like few years back, when I used to see social media, I used to start feeling bad. Then I started realizing, this was before life coaching, realizing that I'm looking others traveling so much and I'm feeling bad that my life is not good. So when you see social media, when you talk to people, if you are not aware of your own talk or your own thoughts, how it will affect your life. So the reason I was feeling bad was because I was seeing others and I was feeling bad I'm not traveling. So if you are aware, okay, because I am seeing her images, I am feeling sad. So rather than feeling unhappy or taking it out on your spouse, rather than working it out, or is it really that you want to do? Okay, plan some travel, maybe not now, maybe a year later. If finances are the issue, work out the finances. So processing the emotion, what thought is coming, what how it is affecting me, what I really want, and taking the action is very, very important in everyone's life. So I know slowing down your life, and that's what we say in journaling, slowing down your life and knowing what is going on inside your mind and clearing it out, that only before it becomes a clutter, is I think all about emotion management. And if emotions are not managed well, then there is stress that is coming up. And everything is linked, confidence, communication. I'm sure you will also agree to me.
Yeah, indeed. Um, One thing that I also curious about that, um, you cannot cry, you cannot laugh, you cannot do. You have to behave well because this is not good for you. And this is I can actually see in the society now. There are actually it's not a judgmental part, but some of them, when their kids crying, they trying to stop the kids to cry, and they trying to stop their whoever it is, to stop loving or at whatever. How does that actually good for us to stopping that emotional, which is that is actually you know what I mean, like it's our emotional. I wanted to cry now, and then the parents told the kids don't do that because this is. And how do you want to give some kind of message and advice to people here who's
I
watching
think
this video?
people are not aware that pouring out emotions is a healthy way of doing it. They think crying is not a good habit. That's why they are not allowing them to cry. So creating the awareness, understanding that crying is a way of processing the information or processing the emotions in a child. So of course it should not be a habit, but if they cry, let them cry, and then once they are done, ask them how are they feeling, what happened, what they exactly want. So allowing them emotion is very important. So probably, especially in the growing years, allowing them to pour out your emotions is very important, especially in the growing years, so that there is no clutter in the mind and you know how to work out your emotions. So what the parents can do is, first, if they have the awareness, then allow them, give them the time, and that's what it needs to be done. And as a parent, even I am trying to follow that. I won't say I'm able to do it 100%, but I make sure to do it 95, 98% of the time. I allow them to process the emotions. If they want to cry, I say, then you cry it out and then tell me what you want to tell me about it. So at least that thing is cleared from their mind. Yes.
Mm, yeah. So by actually putting up the emotional is one of the best way, the healthy way to actually express
Hmm.
the emotion, which is going to be impacting your life, um, impact in the better way,
Hmm.
how to manage the emotional.
Yes.
So what happened if you don't express this emotional feeling? You don't learn about how to handle this emotional. You stop crying. You don't do that. So what happened to these people?
Then there can be emotional outburst. It's like keeping a clutter. If there is clutter too much, some time it will come out. So I have taught this concept with a Bollywood movie called Dear Zindagi, in which she kept on keeping the emotions inside, and then there was a burst out, and she was living in her past only. So yes, if you do not work on your emotions, it will somewhere show up. Either you will burst out, either you become too much aggressive, or you will become too much silent. There will be different ways, it will come out. So expressing, telling, and knowing what you feel is important.
So this is the very important way to work on yourself is by knowing the emotional and the thought that you have. So it will help you to move forward in your life. Because in my experience also, I found it that yeah, I used to have some kind of don't cry too much. And then when I'm grown up, when I'm I found it like there is a gap, you know, it actually there is a fear for me to express how I feel to the person because I'm afraid I'm going to get a judgmental from others, you know. So I think this is also impact in the communication
Mm.
and with others, also relationship with others too.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely right.
Yeah. Mhm. So this is why putting up the emotional is healthy, right? Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So I also talk
Uh,
about how to work on your emotions in this book, how to shift your emotions, a cognitive behavior therapy technique of you might be knowing ABC. So it has been also used in this book, inspired from
hmm.
CBT, uh, how to work on your emotions.
Wow. So it's actually all of our discussion is into that book, right? Everyone, if you want to watch and you want to learn about the confidence, emotional, and stress management, just get this book on Amazon. That's beautiful. All right. So Usha, do you have any message for people out there who's watching this video? You know, beside with this book, you know, what is the message that you
The
have?
message I want to give to everybody is live your life to the fullest. We all have potential within us. Just live the life the way you want and walk your path. You will achieve your dreams, you will achieve your goals, and do whatever you want to do. Just don't sit back. Just do whatever you wish to do and whatever is your calling. That's it.
Beautiful. So don't limit yourself. Just do whatever you want to do because as a person, we all are have the ability to do many things.
Absolutely.
Es- Yeah, especially in the personal development. Stop limiting yourself. Just take the action.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Usha, that you would like to share?
I'm very glad to be here and thank you for inviting me. If I have to share one thing, then probably I would like to say is whatever we are saying is fine, but how do we implement it? It's what I focus more on training. My training is not about giving knowledge, knowledge is everywhere. It's all about how to apply this knowledge. So, one way to be aware of yourself is journaling every day, just writing two questions: what went well today, what I want to improve. And if there is something you want to talk about, you can get into that re questioning and getting deeper. Everyday journaling, or maybe journaling once a month, or no, not once a month, sorry, once a week also helps. So once you do this, then all the clutter and all the clarity comes out. This is what I would like to say to all the listeners.
That's beautiful. I think also this is why journaling also powerful to help us as a person grow, especially in the personal development and self improvement. Well, thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Usha, for your time and thank you so much for your share. I hope for all of you guys who's watching this video, you find the value from our conversation today. So thank you so much, Usha, and thank you everyone for
Thank you
watching.
so much. Thank you.